Graphics cards. The hardest component to pick out when building a PC in 2020. Aesthetic components limit the budget for vital components, such as the GPU and CPU. In this video, I'll be explaining which graphics card you should buy and the reasons behind it. I will also explain why the decision between Team AMD or Team NVIDIA is vital. If you are building a PC in 2020, this video will give you a better understanding on limiting your budget and picking what's right for your PC. To begin with this video, you must ask yourself, how much money am I willing to spend on my entire PC? Is it $1,000, $2,000, $500? It really is the biggest contributor to your performance. Usually, I may say, spend half of your budget on your graphics card. That way you can get the most performance, but you'll still have extra money to spend on aesthetic components. Half of your budget for a $1,000 computer is $500 obviously, and $500 is well enough to get a very good graphics card in 2020 that can play most AAA games. A $500 graphics card would be a 2060 Super, a 2070 possibly, maybe on the used market, a 1080, stuff like that can run AAA games no problem. But do you really want to go to the used market, or do you want to buy new? Do you want more aesthetics, or do you want more power? That's really what you have to ask yourself. So we're going to be kicking this off with the GTX 1650 4GB. Now this card will not be able to run games at 4K or run all AAA titles, but it will be able to run most games at 1080p at high settings. This is a definite steal for $150. Next up is the AMD alternative, and if you want to get some extra performance at this price range, but go last gen, then the RX 570 8GB is a perfect option. For $160 you get some incredible performance that can easily run games at high settings on 1440p. The next step up is the $250 price range, and for NVIDIA, the best choice is a 1660 Super 6GB for $240. This card can easily run AAA games at high settings at 1440p. For AMD at this price range, you can get a Radeon RX 5600 XT 6GB for $270. This card will definitely run better than the GTX 1660 Super, but will be held back by driver issues. Taking the next large step up, we're now at the $500 price range. For NVIDIA, an RTX 2070 is the perfect option for 4K gaming and ray tracing capabilities. At $480 you can get an all-around amazing card that has all of the next-gen capabilities. At $500 AMD has better performance than NVIDIA, but it brings its own issues. The RX 5700 XT for only $400, it brings better performance than a 2070, but it can run extremely hot under load, and it also brings driver issues. For the $800 to $1,000 budget, the budget is extremely high and the selection is small. For NVIDIA, there is the RTX 2080 Super and 2080 Ti. If you want the most performance, then the 2080 Ti will set you back a whopping $1,000, and the 2080 Super will set you back $850 to $900. Both supply similar performance, and unless you have an unlimited budget, the 2080 Super is the way to go. For AMD, the selection is small. Most of AMD's very high-end cards are made for content creators. Because of this, they don't stack up very well to the 2080s. AMD's highest-end GPU, the Radeon 7, has 16GB of VRAM, so it's great for content creation, but it supplies less performance in gaming than the 2080s. The Radeon 7 can be found for $700 to $800. So if you're looking for gaming performance, then NVIDIA is the only choice. You should always spend the most on your graphics card than any other component in your computer. If you're not spending the most on your graphics card, then there's something wrong with your vital component list, and you need to start spending less on aesthetics and more on your performance. So you need to consider AMD or NVIDIA. Well, in this video I showed you what the AMD brings to the table and what NVIDIA brings to the table. If you go with the RTX series, then you are bringing RTX to your computer and you will get ray tracing capabilities. Radeon does not bring RTX capabilities at all. but they're really not needed in any situation unless you're looking for the most beautiful games, such as Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Modern Warfare, stuff like that. And most of those games, people are not going to be running at the highest settings because it's not really needed. The highest settings just bring performance down and make it look a little bit better. So I suggest going for the mid-range cards and limiting your budget so you're not spending $3,000, $4,000 on one computer. And this video did not cover any non-production cards, so we're not going over Titan series, we're not going over Pascal, because Pascal is last gen, so we're only going over consumer production. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out. This was Nem.